Hey everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Paraguay and specifically how it could become the new manufacturing alternative to China for US companies. Historically, the outsourcing of manufactured goods has proved a profitable solution for many companies the world over, providing a quality product at a reduced cost. However, as we have all seen over the past year, historical trends have the capacity to change in an instant, increasing the importance of having a backup plan. Not only this, but with a need to focus on recovery and new pathways for growth following the pandemic, outsourcing has exceeded its utility simply just for cost cutting and has become a political weapon as well. The ability for this industry to be monopolized by large global economies has led to a competitive edge where new countries such as Paraguay, one of the focuses of today's episode, are able to present lower costs and attract the custom of businesses that had been outsourcing overseas elsewhere. So this background sets the scene for today's topic, in which the United States and China present themselves as key players in the outsourced manufactured goods industry, where traditionally China has been the host nation for US companies. However, as is the dynamic nature of global trade, the presidency of Donald Trump in the United States, for example, and his move to put tariffs on Chinese imported goods represented what's essentially a catalyst for change in the relationship between both of these global powerhouses. And while this could prove detrimental to the stability of both countries' economies, it does leave the door somewhat open to other countries to act as competitors for US custom, which is where Paraguay enters the equation. Now, on the surface, it's possible you could be wondering why Paraguay is such a good alternative, as it has an economy the fraction of the size of China's, and so the immediate desire to take the plunge into the Latin American nation is not necessarily overwhelming. Yet, as a business owner, you'll want to know what's on offer that would make you believe the change is worthwhile. And so on screen now, we will outline three of kind of the main reasons why it's such a strong alternative. So the first is innovation, the second is the Maquila industry, and the third is the faster delivery time and more workable time difference that's presented in Paraguay. Yet, in order to ascertain the relative value of each advantage in terms of outsourcing manufacturing to Paraguay instead of staying in China and suffering the tariffs, the above ideas should be explored in further detail in order to afford you an opportunity to decide for yourself. So first of all, we go with innovation, and international relations and specifically interdependence, whether it be in business or politics, plays a big part in where companies relocate and to a certain extent dictates trade links. However, when this idea is tied in with innovation, a subject we've touched on in some of our recent articles on our blog, it could be supposed that the balance of global trade may be shifting towards future planning as opposed to political security. And we've already seen what a change in a country's leadership can do to long-standing international relations, and perhaps the COVID-19 pandemic serves as reinforcement to the idea that nothing is certain. And by looking forward and seeking out innovative markets within the outsourcing industry, US companies can find a sense of opportunity in the wake of uncertainty in Paraguay. And the stably growing economy is one such example of the results of innovation in various sectors, such as manufacturing and technology. The second point we have is the Maquila industry. So going deeper into the theme of innovation, the presence of maquiladora companies in Paraguay demonstrates the forward-thinking attitude relished by companies in a globalizing marketplace. And if you're unfamiliar with this scheme, we have another article and an entire podcast episode on our channel dedicated to this in depth. However, for the purpose of this episode, we will touch on some key features only. So put simply, a maquiladora is a factory that exists outside of the headquarters of the country the business doing the outsourcing is based, where manufacturing is done often with no tariffs or other economic incentives when compared with other countries. So in keeping with today's theme, the lack of tariffs in Paraguay when compared with China following Trump's presidency means the benefits of the maquila industry are immediately evident. And there's also a unified tax rate of 1%, and maquila corporations are exempt from VAT, presenting further economic benefits. Time difference and fast delivery is the final kind of piece of the puzzle, if you like. So one part of the maquila industry that we did not mention in the above section is the reimportation of goods following assembly in Paraguay. And if we look quickly at the shipping times between the US and China, maritime freight takes between 30 and 40 days, and the delivery of air freight takes between 8 to 10 days, let's say. So this is inconvenient to say the least, as although the prices are low, a long waiting time in a world of instant gratification presents a difficult logistical battle. So let us apply this same theory to Paraguay, where shipping times between Asunción and Atlanta, Columbus and Portland, for example, to take some examples of cities in the United States, is only 4 days. So it's clear that there are going to be some cities with a longer transit time, but the previous examples show the contrast that exists between China and Paraguay. So shorter shipping times allow for supply and demand issues to be solved as well, as products can be assembled and re-imported quickly, meaning there's less chance of excess stock stemming from over-purchasing, which will in turn save your company money to re-inject into different aspects of the business. So if you operate a business in the US and have a need to manufacture your products abroad, please feel free to get in contact with us today. You will be able to see our contact information on the screen and also in the description of this video. And while you're there, please also subscribe and leave a like, and perhaps also a comment if you want, with ideas of things you'd like to hear us talk about pertaining to immigration or business investment in a future episode. But until then, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.